Welcome to Lifeness with Logan Hall. It's life, it's business, it's Lifeness. Live from the StriveVenta.com studios, here's Logan Hall.
All right. We are here. We are Lifeness. It's life, it's business, it's Lifeness. I'm your host, Logan Hall. Thank you so much for listening, you guys. Make sure you check us out on Facebook. We're also on iTunes. You download the new app. Very easy to listen to the show or any of the past shows now. And tell all your friends about us. We appreciate that. And we've got a great show today. We always have a great show. And this one's kind of close to the heart. This is a very special person in my life I've got to know here over the last 11 months very, very well. She's the owner, co-owner, broker of our wonderful company, Century 21 Northwest, but all in all, just a great person, Miss Rodica Bartels. What's going on, Rodica?
Good morning. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's so awesome. Now, first off, Rodica is an awesome lady. She's got a very cool name, Rodica. It's just like an intriguing name. I like it. Some people don't pronounce it right all of the time, but once I got to know, Rodica is her name, and she's awesome. And we're going to get to know her and her story, and it's a great story because it's the land of the free, land of opportunity. She was not born in America, and we're going to get a little bit more into how her and her family came here, why they came here, and the things she learned along the way that we can hopefully take away from the show and learn from there. So, Rodica, awesome lady. She's, as I said, the co-owner and broker of Century 21 Northwest, and she's just a great person. We're going to talk a little bit about her and her mom and dad. So, as I mentioned, she's not from America. She's from Romania, grew up in Romania. What was the name of the town you grew up in?
Well, I was born and raised in Romania, Arad, Romania.
Okay. And you had a few brothers and sisters.
I'd say a little more than a few. I have 14 brothers and sisters.
So a total of 15 kids between mom and dad. Mom and dad were just busy in every aspect of life, having kids, taking care of kids, graduating kids, all the above. So born in Romania. Now, what was it like to be born in Romania? I mean, was there a lot of poverty? Now, we know at the time Romania was a communist country, so you didn't have any of these freedoms or luxuries or liberties. What was it like growing up there?
Well, when you're a kid growing up there, you don't really know any better. We had to raise our own chickens and our pigs and grow on our vegetables in order to have enough food to eat because you just didn't go to the grocery store and it was full of stuff that you can get. A lot of people went without, all those comforts of life. But, we were industrious ourselves. And my dad had a lot of us, and he always made us work for it.
So you guys, I don't imagine we're sitting on the couch or just playing board games most of the days. Between the 15 of you, having the produce, the agriculture, all that going on, everyone was helping out.
Everybody was helping up for the littlest one to the oldest one.
And we'll talk a little bit more about the work ethic that was instilled in you and your family from that and how you guys kind of graduated to the United States and continue that hard work ethic. So you're in Romania. You got 15 or 14 brothers and sisters, a total of 15 of you. And as we were talking before the show, one of your neighbors' friends lived in Romania but got to America and had come back from America to Romania to visit. And your parents befriended these people who lived in America and just kind of got to know them. And then what happens?
Well, our next-door neighbors' relatives lived in America, for many years, and they would come and visit. So they became friends with my mom and dad. And there's 11 girls in our family, and he had 3 boys.
Okay.
Whenever they were visiting, obviously, the girls and the boys were hanging out together. So, my mom and dad were talking to them, and one of the boys liked one of my sisters. And, Romania was communist at that time, as you said, and the only way you could leave Romania if somebody sponsored you to pay for your way and help you get over here. So, the next door neighbor's friend said to my dad, "Hey, my son likes your daughter. I'll help you guys come to America. If they get together and get married, fine. If not, fine. But I'll like to help you get there."
That's cool. So all because one of your sisters and one of his sons kind of liked each other, sparked that little flame, but sparked the flame to try to get the family out of Romania, out of the communist country, and into the United States. Now, as you mentioned back then, you had to be sponsored by someone that was living in the United States who was financially able and willing to literally sponsor people who are coming over, put them up in a place, give them some money for food, get them started. You can't just say, okay, we're going to sponsor someone, they're going to come over and not help them out with a start, because no one would make it. Now, the part about this story that's very intriguing is that you said that you have to go through an interview process with the Romanian government for them to agree to even just let you out of the country. It's not like you can just go to the airport and jump on a plane to New York and here you are, right?
Right, correct. You had to have a sponsor, then you had to apply with the government in order for them to approve you leaving Romania. And then you have to go through a bunch of stuff in order to be able to be approved to get into America. So
now you would think communist countries, like they closed borders, they want to keep people in their country and under their regime. But you were mentioned during the interview that your mom and dad were having that during it, they asked your mom how many kids there were.
Well, communism didn't approve of prayers. So when my mom and dad showed up, to apply and be interviewed, my mom kind of looked up to heaven, and the guy looked at her and said, "Did you just say a prayer?"
That's a no-no.
Yeah. So she said, "Yes, I did." And then he said, "Well, how many children do you have?" And she said, 15. And he said, "Okay, here, you can leave."
Approved. Stamp, approved. See you later. Now, the background of that is that, one, obviously, saying prayers kind of goes against what's going on in the communist country and believing in higher power. You don't really have the freedom to do that. Number two, you had mentioned that the government, because of that, would subsidize families per number of kids to help out with expenses for food and housing and these sorts. So when they saw the opportunity to get rid of a family of 17, or there was 11 you said that actually went with you, mom and dad, 13, they saw the opportunity and said, stamp approved, see you later.
Well, that's what we believe, that, for every child under the age of 18 in Romania under the communism rule, they subsidized my dad with money in order for us to be able to make it and live. So when they saw that many people having the opportunity to not subsidize it anymore, we believe they said, sure, go ahead.
Adios. So it doesn't happen overnight. So you said it took about a year for all the paperwork and everything to kind of get ready to go through. And I was asking you what the overall feeling was of the family, if they were excited and eager to jump on that plane and get out of Romania, or if they were sad about it and were going to be homesick. What was kind of the general sentiment of everyone in the family when you're getting ready to go?
Well, it was a little bit of both, because here you are. This is where you were born, raised. This is what you knew. This is your entire family, friends, especially, I was 16 years old with a boyfriend, so who wants to leave him? But at the same time, you were excited. You're going to a new country. Now you're a celebrity, because everybody in a communist country wanted to get to America back then. So, it was both excitement, fear, tears, sadness, all wrapped up in one, because you're leaving everything and you go to a country that you don't even speak their language. So how are you going to make it?
Well, you kind of said the analogy, it's not like moving to Nebraska or to Michigan or something where maybe the climate's a little bit different and maybe they've got a little bit of a different twang or accent, but for the most part, the food's the same, the culture's the same, and it's the same country. It's what you're used to. It's your same sports teams. It's your same TV shows. You jump on an airplane, fly across a big old ocean over to the land of the free, America. So it didn't just happen that way. So you said it took about a year for the paperwork to happen, and then, as we kind of know, and we can use Cuba as the closest reference, you can't leave from a communist country and fly directly to the United States. That's kind of a no-no, right?
Well, back then, that's what I knew. You couldn't enter. You got permission to leave the country, but you had to get permission from America to enter the country. So that paperwork needed to be done, so you had to go through a neutral third country, which was Italy. So we went to Rome back then.
So went to Rome. The whole family jumped on a plane, flew to Rome. We're there, you said, about how long? 2 months?
A couple months, while all the paperwork was processed, then to enter in America and have all the right paperwork to come. So we we were put in a house by government, as far as I know, and we had to live there for 2 months while we were getting everything ready.
So you're living in Italy. You speak Romanian. You don't speak any Italian. You don't really speak any English, but you're in Italy.
Yeah.
And so then you start to get to learn English, correct?
Well, we knew that's the end result. We had to learn English. So there was a little missionary from England, a little church down the street from where we were stationed, where we were living. So we just went there, and he read the English Bible, I read the Romanian Bible, and I try to translate as much as I can and learn as much English as we can while we're these 2 months doing nothing, just waiting. So
awesome. So we're coming right back. We're going to talk about learning English and the actual trip to the United States. Thanks for staying tuned. Hey guys, I'm here with a good friend of mine, John St. George, owner of Phoenix Carpet Water Restoration, home of the Spot Crew. John, tell us a little bit about your company.
Thanks, Logan. We are a locally owned carpet, tile, upholstery, and oriental rug cleaning company here in the Valley. We're happy to celebrate our 5-year anniversary, and we're giving 25% off to all new customers to call in at 602-319-8446.
So that phone number again, 602-319-8446, 602-319-8446. Call my buddy John for a free estimate today. Tell him Logan sent you. All right, and we are back. Thanks for staying tuned for that short break from some of our show sponsors. If you're interested in sponsoring the show, reach out to me through Facebook or give me a call, 602-908-2188. We're always looking to help. I have partners help try to grow the show and get new listeners, so if you're interested, let us know. Our main sponsor is Century 21 Northwest, the company I work for, and Striventa Business Solutions. They provide us with this awesome studio in our Tempe office of Century 21 Northwest to have this great radio show with a great guest, Miss Rodica Bartels. Before the break, we were talking about she just left Romania, was kind of in term, living in Rome for a 2 to 3 month period, more or less, to then make the trip to the United States. So you're in Rome, you're doing some translating at the church, you're hearing the guy speaking in English, and you're reading from the Romanian Bible, trying to kind of translate what he's saying in English to your people. So that was kind of the beginning of you learning English, right?
yeah, that was, I mean, I took some English in school, but after 1 year in school of taking a foreign language, who learns anything? So, but there I was trying to learn as much as I could, so I could speak a little bit of English.
So learns a little bit of English. All of a sudden, it's time to go to the U.S. So all 11 kids and mom and dad jump on planes and fly to the U.S., and your guys' first place that you fly into and you lived is where?
Well, we flew into New York because that's where everybody lands. Then they took us, put us on another plane, and we flew into Chicago. That's where the sponsors that sponsored us lived, and that's where they had a place for us to come and stay.
So they had a place for you. Now, this is a big old house, right? Because you got 11 kids and mom and dad. They had a big, like, 7-bedroom house set up for you, right?
Yeah, no. It was they own an apartment complex down in the
not so nice part of town.
Nice part of Chicago. So they brought us into this 2-bedroom apartment for us 13 kids. In fact, I remember when I walked into the door, I was looking, and the whole living room was a bunch of beds where everybody can sleep. So it accommodates all 11, the 2 bedrooms full of beds and the living room full of beds, so we can all fit in.
So you get there, you guys kind of choose your bunks and sleep a night or two, and then that work ethic that you had instilled early on in your life in Romania kicks right in. What happens then?
Well, they provided us a little bit of food in the refrigerator, and stuff to have, but then what are you going to do for tomorrow when you need to buy some more food? So immediately they took us around, and we had to get jobs. And my mom was a stay-at-home mom, so she never had a job, so she couldn't go to work. She still had little ones at home. My dad didn't speak English, so it would be really tough for him to get a job. So my three sisters and my brother, which were the oldest